do think there's some interesting dynamics going into the first topic about like Tesla and everyone's like how the brand and the public at large think about Tesla, given Elon's involvement with Doge and the government. It's been really surprising, I think. Well, maybe not surprising, but disappointing because people don't know how to separate out like a business that just makes good products, which if you talk to most of them, people, they say Tesla is a good product, right? That's why they bought it. They didn't buy it because of anything to do with Elon. They just bought it.
Tesla was the first automaker to bring a software-defined vehicle to the United States.
Yes, exactly.
And probably globally.
And it's as simple as that. And you talk to a lot of people, and it's like it's a good product. And there's thousands of great employees, right, that I'm sure disagree with Elon and what he's doing at the government, that are putting their heart and soul into these vehicles to make them great. And it's separate from politics. But, at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of people who, I don't know, maybe they don't have much better things to do than to vandalize Teslas because they're angry or they have no better outlet. Or Tesla superchargers as well. Like, I don't know if you've heard, but like now because superchargers are accessible by multiple people and some superchargers are in, great spots. So if you vandalize or take down a supercharger, you're not just affecting Tesla drivers, you're affecting all the EV drivers in the area,
Yeah. And I just like to break this down, just like to think about things in the most fundamental form. Maybe that's like a very engineering way to think about topics, but like, let's just think this. You have a CEO who's CEO of Tesla. He's also CEO of several other companies and working in the government. Bandwidth and influence on that company is probably pretty limited just due to the constraints of time. Then you have a supercharger, which is a product made not by Elon Musk, by a bunch of engineers, contractors, people, electricians, a wide range of people, that this product was put in place and serves a purpose of people who bought Teslas or other EVs in the past or now. That doesn't really matter. The point is, this thing is so far disconnected to Elon Musk that it's just so ridiculous that someone would think to vandalize that would make any statement, not to mention the moral qualms of vandalizing other people's properties. And same thing with cars too. It's like, even regardless, I don't even care if someone bought the car new or used. I don't even care if someone bought the car new because of Elon Musk or whatever. It's just so ridiculous to think that vandalizing someone's property actually, I mean, I get the idea that someone's going to try to make a statement, but it's just so absolutely ridiculous because you're screwing over someone else. And not only that, is like, just think of all the hassle you'd have to go through. So someone keys your Tesla, your wife has a Tesla, I have a Tesla, and it's just like, then you have to go through insurance. Then you have to go through all this. And you probably talk to the clown who does that. And they're like, oh, well, they got insurance, whatever. It's like, it's not this simple. And still at the end of the day, someone is netting negative and you're just kind of netting zero because there's really no benefit.
And Elon is not affected at all. He doesn't care. He doesn't affect. If you're upset at him by vandalizing other people's Teslas, you're not impacting him at all. So, I mean, mission not accomplished, And
and still, like, the other thing is, this is just one angle of attack we can look at. The other angle of attack is it's 130,000 people working at Tesla. Elon Musk is one of them. I guarantee you there was someone who was more right-wing making your GM product than there was anyone at Tesla. Or, I mean, whatever. I mean, this is just like, if you're trying to disassociate yourself from what right-wing notions or ideologies, it's like someone on the assembly line making any car was probably way more right wing. And I have friends who work at BMW in Greenville, South Carolina, who say heard some crazy stuff on the assembly line, as is probably other people at GM in these random factories. It's like, it's just the fact that there's going to be people with right wing ideologies and left wing ideologies, and someone making your car is probably going to have some sort of ideology, let alone talk about other automakers with even more controversial governments overseeing their operations. Like, we talk about Chinese EVs, they're great. China has a lot of concerns when it comes to human rights that we could be looking at. So it's just like, I don't know. I just see the product as, this is a device made by a variety of people, and it's pretty awesome that we can see a really good car come to fruition from the hard work of lots of engineers. maybe I'm just rambling too much, but that's just my thoughts. I think, yeah.
No,
I
I
still like
agree.
Teslas. I think they're cool. I recently drove the Model 3 Performance. It's a great car, but I just see it as a car and I appreciate the engineering. I don't like think of it as some symbol of right-wing politics.
Yeah, or anything like that. I mean, a lot of people disagreed with like the Koch brothers, right? And
Yeah.
Koch Industries supports so many things that people buy on a day-to-day basis. So just because you don't like what they're doing and who they're supporting politically, are you going to stop buying any product that has Koch Industries associated with it? Like, no, there's no that's not possible, right? And at
Mhm.
the same time, like you have to disassociate from the individual and what they're doing and all the other great people that are at the end of the day providing you a product or service that is providing a direct use, right?
Mhm.
So I think I agree. I mean, it's interesting. I would be it would be really interesting to see how many of those protesters or vandalizers or whoever are posting on X, formerly known as Twitter, right? All of their exploits to be like, look at me, I'm fighting the man who's now known as Elon. But again, Elon also controls X, so
Yeah.
it's one of those things where look, yes, he's very powerful. He's involved in a lot of things, but like there are a lot of things that he's involved in that are providing just like a decent service at the end of the day, and like find some other way or other means to sort of act out against. And that's probably the best is using your democratic rights and voting. That's it.
Mhm.
Do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
you
I
know.
totally agree. And I think and I will also say like with Elon Musk, I think when it comes to like CEOs that have like a great like because you want I think as a CEO of a company, you have a service to be a good image for your company. And I think when we look at like companies like Apple in particular, when we see like Tim Cook, who I think um I've read a lot about him, I think he's I mean, just when you think of him as like a figure, he just seems like a very stoic person, doesn't really engage in politics, doesn't really engage in lots of narrative at all. Like I think he has probably not that many posts on social media. And it's like I think that's kind of cool because I think as like CEO, I really appreciate those who are like very quiet and kind of appreciate their privacy and not being the center of everything. Um, and like I guess when you buy an Apple product, you don't really think of like this is a representation of Tim Cook. Probably 50% of the people you talk with probably won't even know who Tim Cook is.
Yeah,
And
and it's more of a reflection of the actual people that worked on the thing,
mhm,
right? And they're like the unknown faces, all the engineers and the designers behind the scenes that you're not interviewing and asking what their political views are before you go buy the next M4 Mini or M4 MacBook Air that just got released. Like
mhm,
you're just enjoying the product, and that's what they're focused on. So I think it makes sense to focus on those things first, and then deal with your anxieties or frustrations with the government in other more appropriate ways.
yeah. And keying someone's Tesla is not going to help anyone. And I think the thing is that a lot of people need to consider is Teslas have Sentry mode, and it will probably get a good picture of your face. And you probably don't
It's
want to
against
face
the
all the
law.
legal consequences. That would be a great tort lawsuit with lots of punitive damages, I can imagine. So,
Yeah.
not a great idea.